Just thinking of the options open to Colin Harvey. His two substitutes are both midfield players, Ian Wilson and Stuart McCall. He doesn't have a striker down there. He gave the two lads the vote over Wayne Clark. But if Everton don't turn this round, I would imagine we'll see one or the other on the pitch, if not both. And again, in this heavy atmosphere, high temperatures, there'll be times when they try and slow it down, Liverpool in particular. Vanden Hauw. Nicol. Oh, Ratcliffe made another mistake. Beardsley. Ratcliffe had a long period out with injury. It happened in a cup tie against Sheffield Wednesday, and I just wonder whether he's quite as razor sharp as he used to be. Mind you, I'm talking at high standards, because he was probably the quickest player in Europe at that time in that position. Nicol. Houghton. They're lined up in the centre there. Beardsley, Barnes, Aldridge. It is Hansen. Running off the ball now is Whelan. John Barnes. Staunton sprinting outside him. Aldridge with Ratcliffe. Aldridge looked at the referee. There was a loud shout from the Liverpool fans. Nothing given against Ratcliffe. Nevin has switched to the left. Oh, Everton in trouble here. It's Beardsley. Aldridge to his left, but Beardsley could go alone. Saved by Southall. Here comes Ray Houghton.
There was a classic example. I think there was a time Kevin Ratcliffe would have caught Peter Beardsley. And again, it was an example of Everton in possession themselves and not having the composure of like Stevie Nicol, Alan Hansen, and use the ball. They got themselves into trouble. There was about 3 Everton players within 5 yards of each other, and suddenly Liverpool had an attack.
Beardsley. And still Beardsley. Well, that's 2 opportunities in a minute for Beardsley. The first one, I think, some credit to Southall, because he did stand up well and block Beardsley's view of the goal. And I think that may be substantiated by what we're going to see here, because he was clear of the defender, Ratcliffe, but Southall good in 1-against-1s like that, save with his feet. Nicol takes on Vanden Hauw, first one way, then the other. 3 to his left. Not a good ball, and Everton themselves can break. And Nevin wanted to play that through, and he has to Cottee. McDonald, now Cottee again, bit of space for him. Sharp in the middle, so is Nevin. McDonald's ball in, Houghton's header out. McMahon, Barnes, now can he pick up pace? He's got Aldridge and Beardsley to his right, Watson to take on, still Barnes, and he has taken him on.
Well, not much more we could say, was there? I think it was all there to watch. Once he gets in those situations, pick the ball up just on the halfway line, and he beats people so well to create the shooting opportunity. Here he is on his left foot, just dragged it past the post.
Off goes Paul Bracewell. Had a hard time in that midfield. And McCall gets a big welcome from the Evertonians. Barnes header to Aldridge. The teams drew here in the League Cup final a few years ago, in their first ever all Merseyside Wembley meeting. Here's Hansen, one of the survivors of that. Well played. Nicol. In again to Houghton, who's always threatening. Barnes is a long way away on the left, but he's the freest player. Well found. Brings Southall down to the near post. Now, Houghton delivered that quite beautifully, and Barnes was perfectly ready here with his left foot. It was slightly deflected off the defender anyway, which made it an even better save.
Kenny Dalglish here, obviously deciding Liverpool do need a G-up.
Yes, the goal scorer is going off. John Aldridge applauded. Going off this year in rather different circumstances to last time round against Wimbledon, because this time his team are a goal up. And a big reception for the fellow who scored 2 goals in this Merseyside FA Cup final 3 years ago. Kenny Dalglish congratulates his goal scorer today, but Ian Rush back from Juventus and now back at Wembley. Kevin Sheedy is the player going off. And we have a Wembley first here. Ian Wilson, the former Leicester player, has never played here before. Everton have still got opportunity, especially if Liverpool show signs of tiring. We're into the last 10 minutes, mind you. This is Stephen McCall, and it might work for Sharp.
Well, one of the few occasions when Everton midfield player has played a positive forward ball, and there he is, clipped it through, and Graham Sharp, not realising perhaps he had quite that space, and perhaps a flicked header towards the far post might have been better, but Bruce Grobbelaar, as usual, looking very casual.
Nevin. Stephen. Chances here. McCall's there, and Grobbelaar wasn't sure. And it was Ian Wilson who got closest to the loose ball. The 2 subs were both involved in there. Grobbelaar had an escape. Not for the first time, offside.
Just shows you the difference by getting the cross in from the byline makes, because it's whipped in, comes from that different angle, and it causes all sorts of problems for the defence. That's the first time so far they've managed to get to the byline.
And it was Stephen, really, wasn't it? Watson's up there with Sharp. That was Watson. And Liverpool has stretched. It's Van den Hauwe. Back in again. Sharp's up there. Danger. Nevin! If he'd made contact there, it would possibly have been 1-1.
I think that's what you'd call handbags from 7 yards, yeah? This was the earlier cross. Trevor Stephen whips it in, and the hand going up from Stuart McCall just put Bruce Grobbelaar off.
John Aldridge and Kenny Dalglish unable to affect it much from there. And Everton haven't given up hope. Nevin looks for Cottee. Sharp's in the middle, and so is Big Dave Watson, now playing as a full-time forward. Nevin again, and still it's Nevin. Appeals for handball, referee says play on. Nevin again, Watson wants it long. He's got past Staunton. Sharp's there, so is Nicol. It's an Everton corner with 2 minutes to go. Now, can Watson or Sharp get on the end of this? Sharp's flick. They appeal for handball again, but it's a corner again. They're feeding it in. Ian Wilson talking to Joe Worrell. All he'll get is a corner. They're feeding it into the near post where Liverpool don't like it. Sharp's the player to flick it on. Watson's coming in behind him. McDonald is also there. Wilson, no. Behind him was Staunton. Stephen. And still Watson stays up. And that's not the sort of ball... That's the sort of ball Phil Thompson wanted and Kenny Dalglish, but not what Everton would have expected from that position. And it's very tense down there. We make it about a minute of normal time, and here we have an intrusion that we don't need. And the players doing their best to rid us of that offender. Well, Liverpool were holding their breath a bit there. Grobbelaar has a chance now to clear the lines. Everton have certainly had the better of the last half hour, as you would expect for a team who've been a goal down for so long. Watson heads it forward to Cottee. Sharp. Chances here. Nevin. And outside him a chance too. And Grobbelaar. And it's gone in. Steve McCall was in there. And Everton have equalised, and there are people on the pitch. With seconds left of the 90 minutes, and the stewards have got a full-time job on now. Grobbelaar thought he had that, and Steve McCall, the substitute, scores the goal. Stuart McCall scores the goal that brings Everton level and almost certainly forces extra time.
Was quite amazing, wasn't it? They paid the penalty, Liverpool, just sitting back these last 20 minutes, holding on to that 1-0 lead. Good run by Pat Nevin. Davy Watson it was who crossed it, and Stuart McCall pounced on the slip-up.
And there it is. It's extra time in the All-Merseyside Cup final. And Stuart McCall scores in the dying seconds for Everton. A quite extraordinary finish to the 90 minutes. Liverpool looked as though they were going to hang on, but Everton caught them in the last attack. Now Liverpool will bring on Barry Venison now, that's for sure. And it looks to me as though Steve Staunton may be the player to go off.
I think Steve Staunton was tiring a little bit. It was Pat Nevin who created that equaliser, so Stevie Nicol was switched to left back, I'm sure, to do a man-to-man job on him. Barry Venison was slot into the right back position.
We've now got to face the possibility too of a replay on June the 8th.